At least 70 houses, a kindergarten and a school were destroyed, and the entire social infrastructure was damaged. The village of Andriivka, near Borodyanka, was almost completely razed to the ground by Russian troops. When leaving, the Russians looted all the houses and left them smashed. Oleg Kornienko has returned from the ravaged Andriivka.
The village of Andriivka, with a population of several thousand people, is located on the border between Borodyanka and Makarov. After a month of occupation, there is almost nothing left. 1 in 2 houses is completely destroyed. Here is a bird's-eye view of what the invaders left behind. Here are the ruins of Mykola's house. Today, for the first time since deoccupation, he is crossing the threshold of his native house.
This is a corridor, this is a hallway, a stove was insulated here, a wood boiler and a gas boiler.
He uses the word was more and more often, because what the family has amassed in their life is completely destroyed. There is no house, no summer kitchen. He repaired all of this before the war. The house was insulated, modern repairs were made, water and sewerage were installed. But today, the yard is more like a landfill. The only thing left is the cellar. The invaders themselves lived in it. They arranged bunks and even watched cartoons and films.
The bedside table was also taken away.
Are these DVDs yours?
These are not mine. Military TV series, movies, what a shame.
Now Mykola barely chooses words. He says Russian soldiers are worse than Hitler and his Nazis. This is a savage horde that raided, robbed, destroyed and fled.
I don't remember an atrocity like this. They are beasts. Cruiser Moscow was sunk. It is necessary to do the same with the city so that the people feel it. People in Russia are as bad as Putin himself. 80% of the population supports him. They are not human.
And this is Mykola's neighbour.
What kind of life can there be next? How should we live? There's no blanket, no pillow, nothing. Everything was stolen from the house.
Her house was more or less spared, but the woman has no desire to live there anymore. The Russians partially damaged the house and took out everything they could. Even old clothes were taken away when they fled.
The washing machine, the gas stove, the trailer from the car, they were all taken away. It's good that my brother took the car. The racks were beaten on the rafters in the attic. You see, there's nothing left. That's all I have left. And 2 forks.
The inhabitants of Andriivka were under occupation for more than a month. From the first days of the full-scale war, more than 80 tanks with Russians, Kadyrov people and Buryats came here. From here, they aimed at Makarov, Bucha and Irpin. And here, as well as near Kiev, villains shot villagers. The bodies of the dead lay throughout the village.
Not just on the ground, but on the floor. They tied the hands. One guy was found outside the village, but we don't know who he was. And when R7 from the village were found, all their hands were tied, and everyone was shot in the head.
It is still unknown exactly how many people were shot here by the Russians during the occupation. In the first days of the offensive, they captured 150 residents. The fate of 40 is currently unknown. Locals suggest that some may have died under the rubble of their own homes or during a fire, because fleeing, Russian troops razed everything to the ground. Actually, this is all that is left of the kindergarten. It is completely destroyed. The only thing left here is the entrance group. But despite the destruction, the village is trying to revive. But the wounds inflicted by the Russians on the settlement will definitely remain here forever, because people will never forget this grief and barbarism. Oleg Kornienko, Igor Shatailo, Facti Program, ICTV, United News.